When it's cold outside, there's only one hero that can save us all. Anti-freeze Batman! I make my own self laugh because I think I'm the only one watching these. Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues, and we are taking a look at Anti-Freeze Batman with his anti-freeze shield, his anti-freeze headset, and this anti-freeze weather that we're having. If you look out my window over here, just turn your head over there. You can't see it. It's snowing. So I thought this was appropriate to bring up Anti-Freeze Batman. I've got Mr. Freeze down here in a box somewhere, so maybe we'll get to him soon enough. But this is another one of the, we'll call this the Rainbow Coalition of Batman and Robin figures that we're going to see on here. Anti-Freeze Batman comes with a freeze shield. As you can see, it is attached around his waist. And Batman's got some headgear there on as well. We'll kind of look at that in just a little bit. So you could use your imagination with this figure, and if you have your Mr. Freeze out and Batman was battling Mr. Freeze, maybe kind of sort of this is what he might be wearing. Probably not. He probably would just be in this costume. But hey, anything to make a buck from us people, and this guy right here, this one right here, bought a lot of these figures. So we'll get into it. The figure on the box art, again, if you go down to my Facebook page, you know, like me on Facebook, we'll chat. But you can see the box art, and the same artists that drew the animated series also drew all of the box art, which I think is really kind of cool. So you can kind of see their different take on these action figures in Batman animated series form. So he has the shield here, which he does surprisingly stand very well with it. Which was something I thought, there's no way this Batman is going to be able to stand at all once I, you know, bought him back in the day, back in '93. And surprisingly, he stands very well with the shield on. So the shield, as you can tell, does have a button here, and it's no secret that this portion of the shield is the thing that's going to fire, so we will fire it at the good old trusty Wayne manner. There you go. Nice little bat insignia there. And I think it's really kind of cool that 20 some odd plus years have gone by that these things still work. Now if you notice this piece right here, when we did Glider Robin, this portion is the exact same piece that fires the mechanism out of there. So if you go back and look at it, a lot of the same markings are there. They just added, you know, more to that particular mold to create this piece, which I think is kind of cool. It does fit around his waist, and as I just launch it off camera, I'm probably not going to get that back on film because it went clear behind me, behind the computer chair. So for the sake of the rest of the review, we're going to have it without this thing on. Maybe I can grab it really quick. There we go. That's kind of funny because if I go to pose him back up, he could potentially fall over. I was not planning on firing that. About shot myself in the head. I had to duck at the last second. So maybe I should have had a camera facing me so you could have seen my reaction as this thing went flying by. Don't point these things at your eye. You'll shoot your eye out. So he does have the head visor here, which I always thought was a nice little feature. Now this Batman does have a hard time standing by himself. I don't know if it's just the extra molding that's on him, or if he's weighted differently to be able to have this this shield. I'm not exactly sure. But he's another one of those figures that likes to topple over. I don't think his feet are quite straight enough. You can kind of see that this foot right here looks like it's raised up just a little bit. So I think that's probably just the thing that's causing him to lean. But as we can kind of get a look at the rest of his suit, you can see the extra molded and sculpted pieces that are on there. Pull the camera back, bring up the, move the dangerous weapon off to the side. The regular Batman here, see, he keeps falling over. So this piece, you can lay down for a second, you're tired, you're cold. So this piece you could put on, you know, any particular Batman. Doesn't fit on Robin's head really well because of the way it's sculpted. But so sometimes I would pose him if I had the Riddler in front of him or something, kind of like it's a mind control thing. If anybody's reading the Batman Incorporated comics, I think he looks kind of like Knight and Squire at the moment, or the Batman and Robin run that Grant Morrison did when he had some of the incorporated characters there. A little bit of a tangent there. So this was a nice little piece that I didn't ever really have a lot of my Batman figures wearing this thing. That I only did is if I had a little scene where Batman was captured or something like that. Maybe I would put this on Batman. But, you know, maybe Batman's in Antarctica and Robin is... or Alfred are trying to contact Batman, so Batman would wear this. Who knows? It's not show accurate at all, or comic book accurate at all, but you could see the extra molded on pieces here. The belt has been kind of hollowed out and then resculpted in, so it took pieces away from around the center of the waist. But Kenner still did a lot of good extra detailing, and even the cuffs around the gloves, which... You know, there's no cuffs on this one, but there's cuffs here and extra molded on pieces. You can kind of see the belts there. This bell is sticking out where this bell has been kind of cut away and then kind of resculpted inside. They put a lot of the pieces of the shield, the stripes, into the suit also. So that's, I mean, it's a nice little touch. There's some extra pieces here, and I have some dirt and grime on this Batman. Apologize for that. But, you know, the cuffs still go all the way around, and then extra little molding back here. So, I mean, they did take a few extra little steps to make it a little different figure. Yes, it's basically the same overall figure. You know, all the same articulation points, this Batman's head. A lot of the Batman's heads are still really stiff and don't want to move an awful lot. But a nice little figure. Again... Well, if this figure was available today, would I buy him? I don't know, probably not. I think it's also cool that they cut away part of his belt, or the middle section of the belt, so he could actually hold this thing around his waist. So I think it's a good job, Kenner, on the Batman Animated Series line. Obviously, I bought a lot of these guys, and I am glad that I have them. It's nice when I have them all on my shelf and I display all of them at once. It is kind of impressive to see all of the Batman and Robin. And then my wife makes the comment, gee, you bought a lot of the same figure. Yeah, I did. But you'll hear me say over and over again, a lot of times I bought it because I thought the accessory was really cool. And then back in the day, these figures were only costing $6, $7, maybe $8 at the most. 10 if it were the deluxe figures. And I have some of those, and they have some really big gimmicks and moving parts, which those gimmick pieces are as large, if not larger, than a normal figure. So it's almost like you're kind of buying two, but you'll get that once we get to the deluxe figures. So today we've been taking a look at Anti-Freeze Batman. So when I get to the Mr. Freeze part of the review, maybe we'll bring this guy back up again, and we'll kind of put them side by side. So as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogue signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.